Hello BookTube! Right, it's Wednesday, so it's time for Reset Wednesday Reflections video, and this time I almost forgot to do this. Like, sometime, sometime in the afternoon I realized that, oh shit, it's Wednesday, I need to make a video. So yeah, it can happen at times, losing track of time completely like that. So, not much daylight left, so it's the return of the dramatic lighting. And yeah, let's start with the big news. I finally finished the damn Egypt book. so good news for all the viewers out there who are getting frustrated with this book showing in each of my videos. So you won't see this too many times in the future again. So this was my choice for the BookTube spin, organized by Rick McDonald. And the goal was to read the book that got chosen for the BookTube spin during February and March. So we're still in March, so I have successfully completed my BookTube spin challenge. So yeah, Mika Waltaris Sinuhe, egyptiläinen or the Egyptian, and this was a reread for me. I read this first time something like 15 years ago, so quite a long time ago, and back then I was a very plot-oriented reader. So it was very interesting to read it again and see all the stuff that I had missed, or the stuff that I just didn't care or pay any attention the first time I read it, because yeah, anything unrelated to the plot I couldn't really care that much about. So anyway, I won't spend too much time on this now, because I thought I might make a single video on this at some point in the future. But what maybe I should tell what this book is about and something like that. So this is narrated by our main character Sinuhe, who is an orphan and a doctor, and very close to the pharaohs. Struggling with the word pharaohs. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so this book basically so here Sinuhe narrates his life or retells his life, and we get to learn much about Egyptian history and cultural changes during that time. And that I think is the main gist of the novel, and how well all those are portrayed here. That's very remarkably done. And this is set right at the end of Amenhotep III's reign. From there until the reign of Horemheb, just before Ramses, I think. This is mostly set, directly after the Amenhotep III. So the reign of Akhenaten, however you say that in English, Echnaton in Finnish. And for those not familiar with Egyptian history, Echnaton's or Akhenaten's period reign was very uh, tumultuous in a way that there were lots of changes. Um, Lots of changes taking place, especially in the religion. Like Akhenaten wanted to move from polytheistic religion to monotheistic religion, and he brought this god called Aton, and yeah, he was their only god from there on. And as you can expect, that's a very drastic change, and not everyone, accepts that kind of change just like that. And it is very interesting to see how Sinuhe's thoughts about this religion and other cultural changes as well, how they change from the previous the new regime, and then of course after Echnaton's reign, things start to change again. So Sinuhe is constantly, of course, questioning his own beliefs as well, and the value of humanity and all kinds of deep thoughts. And I had actually forgotten how terribly pessimistic and nihilistic this novel is, especially Sinuhe's point of view. He is very nihilistic character. There's nothing new under the sun, and life is bad, and death is a welcome thing. But despite that, this is as a whole, it is very nicely balanced, because there are other characters who express their own worldviews, like Sinuhe's servant, or former servant, Kaptach. He is very happy about his life and enjoys his riches and big belly and good food. So they kind of balance each other out, and well, you as a reader kind of make your own opinion what is, what might be the best alternative, or is there any? Oh, anyway, excellent read, even though it took quite a while. So that leaves me open for new books, obviously, and going with the plan, I will read my March Mystery Madness book next, and for that I chose Heresy by annoying glare. Heresy by S.J. Parris. And this is a murder mystery set during the late 16th century England, and it has Giordano Bruno as its main character. And that's the thing that really caught my interest when I heard about this series. Because Giordano Bruno, for those who don't know about him, he was a very fascinating person, and yeah, he faced a rather tragic ending. He was burned at the stakes. Well, not sorry, burned at the stakes, but yeah, he was burned by the church people, because yeah, that's what church people do to those who oppose them. Anyway, I've read, the beginning of this book already, and I'm quite hooked already. It's very, very compelling start to the novel, and yeah, I'm hoping it stays good until the end. So those are my books for this time, and the final thing that I would like to maybe talk about is Eric Carl Anderson's video about introverts facing some anxiety. Now that the lockdown might be ending in the near future. Because, oh yeah, and of course, I will link a video to his video down below. Because obviously, we have been living during this pandemic. We have been living in, an introvert's paradise, basically, because there's not that much social interaction in the real world happening. So it's been really nice staying, alone in your safe space and not having to focus that much on, wearing out your batteries with other people. So of course, going back to normal means going back to extroverts world, where suddenly introverts need to tolerate these loud social people again. And Eric and other people there in the video's comments expressed feelings of anxiety and how it might actually be very difficult to go back to that world after this long period. And my opinion or my thoughts are rather opposite, actually. Even though I am an introvert, I'm very much looking forward to engaging with other people out in the real world again. So, well, maybe I'm not introvert after all. But, yeah, I just really long for that real human connection and, just regular stuff like bonding with my fellow students. Like, I haven't even seen some of my classmates for like 4 months. That's just ridiculous. And yeah. So, to keep it short, I really can't wait to be back in the extroverts world again, no matter how exhausting it might be. Yes, I guess that's all for this time. Let's hope I remember to do this in time the next week. Alright. Yeah, that is all. Back to my bookie activities and see you soon.